Hello, Kelly Freedom Kennedy here, the Lymph Queen. Welcome to the Energy Flow Show, where we have all sorts of series. And today, what I really want to talk about is this concept of oversimplifying the healing process. So, your nervous system does not need another hack; it needs a relationship. So many people are out there talking now, which is great, about the nervous system and it needing to be regulated, or it needs to be calm because we need to feel safe before we can heal. And I'm so grateful that is now the conversation that's really happening. However, I don't want you to get lost in thinking that just taking a deep breath and being able to meditate for 10 minutes a day is enough to really facilitate the healing. It is such a deeper experience than that. This is about really and truly having a relationship with yourself and falling back in love with yourself. You know, I often talk about this concept that we are divine beings having a physical experience. And oftentimes we are looking for relationships outside of us. Who's our partner? Who's our child? Who's our best friend? Who's our parents? Who's the people we work for? Who are the people we serve? But where is that relationship within? When we look in the mirror in the morning, oftentimes that's about the only looking in that we often do, or maybe 10 minutes of meditation in the morning, or maybe a couple hours at night. And what I want to say to that is this: meditating is great, but living meditatively is really what the gift is. Meditation is about bringing us into presence, into this present moment. And when we look in the mirror in the morning, we look at our face maybe and we're like, oh, our hair looks okay. And, you know, we can go on about our life. But we're now, from that point forward, we're taking our eyes and we're looking outside of us. When do we close our eyes and when do we go in and feel that breath physically in its form in this location labeled your body? That is what I invite you to. With the work that we have facilitated and in the last 20 years in clinical practice that we've administered of how to apply the science of energy, what I've seen over and over again is, yes, step one is absolutely calming the nervous system to recognize that you're safe to heal. What does that really mean? It means developing a relationship with that heart of yours, with feeling inside what your tissues, where all the issues are stored, what they've been storing, what the things you've tried to avoid that instead have been stored, whether those are pathogens, whether those are toxicants, whether that's emotional debris. We actually can't avoid anything. So the body stores what we have yet to face. And when we go inside and we close, sometimes that's when we see all the things like the wizard behind the curtain. And we don't love everything that we see. And it's okay. It's not to be judged. It's just to be acknowledged. And as we can acknowledge it, then we can start to let go of it. So think about your house for a minute. Think about the places in your house, that junk drawer, that junk closet rather, that you're just like, I'm going to throw it in there. I'll deal with it later. I'll throw it in there. I'll deal with it later. And then what happens at some point when you go to address that, you start to face all the things that you were trying to get rid of and store away, which really maybe you didn't need, maybe it didn't serve you anymore, maybe it was just complete burden and excess, and then you toss it because it's not necessary for you anymore. When do you take the opportunity to really go inside and address, is that thought really supportive for you anymore, that you're not enough, that thought that you can't be loud, that you can't speak your voice, that thought that nobody cares what your opinion is? You know who cares about what your opinion is? You do. And if you don't start to care for yourself, who's gonna? And my motto is self-care over healthcare. And these two little tools help you with self-care. But self-care over healthcare. And what does that really look like? That's not just doing a routine in the morning. Oh, I'm going to do my yoga, then I'm going to do my red light, then I'm going to do a sauna, and then I'm going to drink my special elixir, and then I'm going to go to work, and I'm going to sit at a desk, and I'm going to sit still, and I'm going to stare at a screen, and I'm going to have all my thoughts and my feelings about the day. Then I'm going to leave, and I'm going to eat a dinner, and then I'm going to go home, and I'm going to care for myself. But at night, and I'm going to do castor oil packs, and I'm going to do red light again. But what happened to the majority of your day? Why aren't you pausing and feeling those emotions and processing that and feeling that breath in the body and where you're guarded and where you're contracting versus expanding? Because true self-care, true healing, yes, it's wrangling the mammal, and then it's investigating where that tightness is, where that hold is, where that burden is, where that excess is that's no longer serving us, and then allowing us to get it out. And we get it out more through exhaling than we do peeing, pooping, and sweating. And we do it through breath practice, not breath work. And so I know this is a reframe, and perhaps I've brought up more questions for you today than I've answered, but that's great. That means you're about to change. That means that you've considered that maybe what you knew prior to listening to this video that didn't resonate is now starting to fall away because it doesn't serve you anymore. And you're starting to resonate with the fact that everything that we need to heal is within us. And every problem, every symptom we have is actually not a problem. It's a signal from the body. It's language that allows us to listen. And listening deeply to ourselves, falling back in love with ourselves, and having that relationship with ourselves is the difference between somebody who's constantly seeking somebody outside of them, the next pill, the next supplement, the next piece of equipment, the next thing to help them be free, versus the flexitarian, the person that can be anywhere, eat anything, be with anybody, and feel free to be who they are and express that and take in what's great and what serves them and for their highest and best good, and let go of everything else that doesn't serve them. We are multi-dimensional, multifaceted, complex human beings that are in this beautiful harmony of what is the word I'm looking for? When you go to an orchestra, it's an orchestra happening inside your body of ecosystems. It's an ecosystem of your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, your spiritual body, and your energetic body. Your 144,000 energy nadas, your main 8 energy centers, your 3 brains, your actual intellectual brain, your gut brain, and your heart brain, all sending and receiving signals collaboratively, cohesively, ideally, aligning into love, into regeneration, into healing. And that is done through a very simple formula: energy, fascia, lymph, oxygen, and water, which is my formula. I teach you how to apply this formula, how to get rid of the blockades to healing, which is something else I want to spend a moment on. You have a burden, as we just talked about, and then you have blockades to healing. The blockades to healing are dental and scars. And you can handle all the burden. You can handle the metals. You can handle the mold and the parasites and all the environmental toxicants and metals and chemicals and all the bad lifestyle stuff that's caused us to be out of order with our natural selves. However, if you have a blockade to healing, if you have dental problems, if you have scars on the physical body, you are working against yourself in helping your body to heal. And scars are both a blockade and a burden because of the traumas that they store. because of the pathogens that they store. And scars will dysregulate your nervous system. So you could be out there taking all the deep breaths you want, but if you're not addressing scars, your nervous system is actually not working optimally. It's blocked in its ideal communication. So by treating scars, both non-invasively and invasively, both at home and in clinic, is actually a foundational step that so many people are missing. And that's what's going to free you from needing something outside of you and going deep within. And again, when you treat those scars, what's going to happen? Emotions are going to start to be flowing. The trauma around that scar, being that injury into the body, that may start to show up, because even though the skin healed, the trauma from how that injury happened is still hanging out, waiting for you, causing inflammation and miscommunications. And closets, if you will, where the body stores those toxicants and pathogens that are stealthy, waiting to take an opportunity when you are the weakest to come out and be more present. How do you stop that? You become more present in how your body feels. You become more present in having that relationship with your breath inside this physical form. Witnessing that breath, not having to do anything on the inhale. Feeling the inhale in every part of the body without avoiding any part. Feeling that broken toe, or feeling that shoulder that doesn't have full range of motion, or feeling that area of your body where you get headaches. Focusing your attention on that. And then expressing that, which is something we teach in our forum, in our membership, in our 21-day lymphatic system breakthrough, what we apply when folks come to our clinic and we do 2 or 3 or 4 day immersive therapies to break through the lymphatic system. Let's stop oversimplifying this multi-causational, multi-dimensional, dynamic human experience. Everything they're doing in Silicon Valley is to copy what nature does perfectly. We just need to facilitate it and not oversimplify it, yet dive deep into it like the ocean and start to scuba dive, if you will, into your own body and discover things that you've been storing that don't serve you, and allow your body to express them so they're no longer your burden, and address your blockades so that your blockades are relieving that body from allowing communication, allowing that body to have proper network capability, which is allowing the body to open up that drainage and no longer strangling that lymphatic. Fascia and lymph go hand in hand, like a yin and a yang. You cannot separate them. The nervous system allows the body to heal. The lymphatic allows the body to drain, causing it to no longer heal. So by working with your nervous system and your lymphatics together, and not oversimplifying and going consistently inside, you will find the treasure to true freedom. You will find the treasure to true healing. You'll find the treasure, which is you. You are the medicine. You have everything inside you, and I'm not oversimplifying it. It is simple. I'm not saying it's easy. However, we're here to guide you all along the way until you can guide yourself. Always right back here to your home, to this physical form that you find yourself in as this divine being, expressing life like nobody else can. And again, if you don't care for your body, if you don't express you, who's gonna? So this is your call. This is your wake-up call. It's time for you to get out of the matrix that they've kept you trapped in. And it's time for you to free yourself from going in and watch everything transform after your breakthrough. I'm Kelly Kennedy. I'm the Lymph Queen, and I'm so honored to facilitate you through your breakthrough.